Let's go out to the track. Ken Tomash is standing by. Ken.
Thanks, Barb. It is a beautiful day here at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Day 6 of practice, and we're about an hour and a half into it. While we have a chance, let's take a look at who is fastest at the moment. Right now, Robbie Gordon at 226.946 has the top speed of the day, followed closely by Raul Boisel, who so far was the fastest of the month, 227.622 today. Little Al, 226.620, and Michael Andretti, 225.637. Those are top 4 speeds at the moment. When you talk about speed, you have to talk about our special guest here on Trackside 6 at noon, Kenny Bernstein, the first human to go 300 in a dragster. Of course, you're the team owner when Roberto won the pole here with a record 232 a couple of years ago. But with Scott Goodyear this year, you guys have only gotten about 26 laps in last I looked. Is there a problem with the team? Is things going all right with you?
No, we're running okay. We ran 222, 223. Not as good as we want to be, obviously. We run a lot of laps, but we're not up to speed like the rest of the guys. We're 3 or 4 miles an hour off yet, but we're working on it. We're just trying to get Scott comfortable right now.
Let's talk about Scott here, the matinee idol. What a tough job he has.
That was a tough day's work, wasn't it?
That's kind of an odd couple, the Texan and the kid from Canada. You guys get along. Do you have to pull him away from watching hockey to go out and
I tell you, he's into his hockey pretty good, so, you know, we talk about it a lot. But right now, we're just really concerned in getting him comfortable in the race car and going fast, because qualifying is going to be extremely close this year. You thought it was close last year. I think it's even going to be closer this year.
Yeah, you're going to have to be following it from a distance. I guess you're going to be down in Memphis,
yeah, I'm ready to
racing
go
the dragster.
Yeah, I'm anxious to go to Memphis and the Budweiser King Dragster, and we've got a race there. I'll be watching this on TV and talking to him on the telephone, but John Dangler takes care of it. He'll do fine. They'll make the right decisions. They'll do good.
Now, don't forget, folks, of course, like many of you watching ABC down in Memphis, you guys watch us here for time trials this weekend. Now, you know, Scott almost won this race a couple years ago. You guys seem to be a pretty good matchup. You're the king of speed, and you know that what he can do, it should work out pretty well for you, hopefully, this month.
Well, I hope so. Again, if we can get the car in the field good and get him comfortable, he's a heck of a race driver on race day, and I think he'll do a good job.
Kenny Bernstein, thanks for being with us. When we come back here in a minute, we'll talk with another Big B, Gary B, Gary Bettenhausen, when we come back on the noontime edition of Trackside 6 live from the Brickyard. Don't go away. Welcome back to Trackside 6 from noontime. You're looking at Ryan Tell. Local here, of course, Robbie Gordon, who last year was a rookie, is at this hour the fastest guy on the course, 226.946 at this noon hour here on Trackside 6. Now, one of the really interesting stories out here this month involves IndyCar veterans Gary Bettenhausen and Tony Bettenhausen. They're kind of a little difference for them this year because they've teamed up for the first time. Gary B is driving for little brother Tony Bettenhausen. And Bettenhausen, they'll be driving that number 61 car, the Bettenhausen Motorsports 93 Penske with the Ilmore Indy V8 engine. They could never get together in past years because Tony couldn't afford to run 2 cars out here all out. Now they're shaking the car down. They've only been up to about 217, but Gary thinks there's more speed to be found in that car.
Well, I think so. The car is capable of running probably 225, 226 when we get everything right, maybe a little faster. It's still a long ways from running flat out around here. But like I said, if I get the push out of it, everything else feels pretty good.
And I'll have more on this Brother Act tomorrow night on 500 Magazine at 8:30 here on Channel 6. Join Ed Sorensen and Lynn St. James, our new co-host this year. An interesting story of the Brother Act, one of the rare times in Indianapolis 500 history that a brother has driven for a brother. Now let's take a look. Now we were talking about Scott Goodyear earlier. You are looking live now at his pit as they work on that car, the number 40 car, the Budweiser King Special, which so far their top speed today is 220.761, and so far the fastest speed of the month, 222.761. But the way everyone is talking out here, that might not be enough to get a real high place in qualifying. We're going to find out on Saturday if the weather conditions are as we hope they are conducive to qualifying, and we'll see how that Mercedes engine goes in the Roger Penske stable, of course. So 222, who knows what that'll do on Saturday. Years ago, that would have been a heck of a speed, but in this day and age in 1994, we may see upwards of 232, 233, maybe new track records. Be sure to join us tonight. Scott Hogue and Paul Page and Ari Lyondike and the Professor and Mary Ann and all of us here on Gilligan's Island and Trackside 6. We'll see you tonight at 5:45. Ken Tomash live at the Brickyard. Bye-bye for now. See you later.